We are going to discuss that mechanism of IR interaction with matter. As we have discussed earlier, only polar molecules are IR active. Molecules such as HCl, H2O can be polar or dipolar, and they exhibit change in dipole moment. That is, they have dipole moment, and the polar HCl molecule will turn to align with an electric field. Let us take example of HCl. So HCl carries a slight positive charge on the hydrogen atom and a slight negative charge. Whenever there is no field, all of them are randomly arranged. When you apply field, see, this is a negative plate and this is external electric field with positive plate. So all the Cl minus ions, that is partial negative charges, are directed towards positive plate. All the positive charges are directed towards negative charge, and there is an alignment. If you are continuously changing these plates, if you reverse these two, if you make this is positive and this is negative, again these will rotate or they change the direction of the dipole moment. If you observe, if you apply electric field, the dipole moments are continuously oscillating. The molecule is carrying some dipole moment, it is continuously oscillating, that is, it is vibrating. If the charge on the plates is reversed, the molecule will reverse their orientation to point the opposite direction. If the charge oscillates back and forth, the molecule will also oscillate back and forth. If you oscillate this electric charge back and forth, the molecule present near to the electric charge also will oscillate. This is radiation, IR radiation, which is having oscillating dipole. And for example, this is some HCl molecule which is having partial negative charge and positive charge, and it's undergoing stretching vibration, and it is also showing some oscillating dipole. When the frequency of the IR radiation matches with the vibration frequency of this molecule, these two will interact and exchange energy. So then there will be change in vibrational transitions. So let us take the example of CO2 molecule asymmetric stretching. The molecule will possess change in the dipole moment or infrared active, and this change in dipole moment is because of vibrations. If you trace the change in dipole moment, see, continuously the direction of the dipole moment is changing up and down, up and down. And if you draw a graph like this for this one component of the dipole, it is just appearing like a wave. So this is a molecule which is having a oscillating dipole like this, and when I pass IR radiation onto this molecule, so it is also having some oscillating dipole or electric field. The oscillating electric field of IR radiation will interact with the oscillating dipole of CO2 molecule, and then interaction occurs. So the bending vibrations of CO2 is also showing the same thing. There is change in dipole moment. So this periodic oscillation in the dipole moment, so they are IR active. That means they can absorb IR radiations. So different functional groups possess different characteristic frequencies. So they absorb their own matching frequency of IR radiation. This produces different characteristic peaks in the spectrum. If you observe, OH bond is somewhere here, CH bond is at 3000, CO bond is at some 1000. So different functional groups are giving different bands. No two unique molecular structures produce the same infrared spectrum. Therefore, IR spectrum of a chemical substance or a sample is a fingerprint of molecular identification. Imagine a HCHO molecule. It has two different types of vibrations. One is wagging, other one is stretching. For our approximation, if the stretching is at 2 Hz and the wagging natural frequency of wagging vibration is at 4 Hz. Now I have placed this molecule in the IR spectrometer and I pass a light radiation or IR radiation of 1 Hz. There is a detector in the spectrometer which can detect the radiation. Since the natural frequency of one vibration is 2 Hz and other vibration is 4 Hz, this 1 Hz is not matching with any of this frequency. So, entire light is transmitted out and will be taken by the detector. And later if I pass 2 Hz of radiation, then the molecule will absorb this 2 Hz because the frequency of IR radiation is matching with natural frequency of vibration of the molecule. Therefore, there is no light transmitted outside. The detector cannot detect 2 Hz because the entire 2 Hz frequency absorbed by stretching vibration of the molecule. So, if we observe 3 Hz frequency, 3 Hz IR radiation is not matching with any of these vibrations. So, the entire IR radiation is transmitted out. 100% of transmittance is seen. Therefore, the detector detects 100% transmittance. Next one is, if we pass 4 Hz frequency of IR radiation, the wagging vibration or bending vibration is of 4 Hz. The IR frequency is matching with the wagging frequency, natural frequency of vibration. So, the entire IR radiation was observed by the molecule and the detector is not transmitting anything out, detecting anything out. So, if you see the graph, IR spectrum, generally the graph is drawn between transmittance and frequency, or you can take transmittance and wave number in terms of per centimeter units, or you can take absorbance and wave number also. If you observe the diagram, spectrum, first we have passed 1 Hz. Since 1 Hz is not a natural frequency of molecule CO2 molecule, so sorry HCHO molecule, therefore 100% is transmitted out. So we can see a peak like this, and the 2 Hz is matching with stretching vibration. 0% is transmitted and 0% is detected by the detector because 2 Hz is absorbed by the molecule. Again 3 Hz is not matching with any of the natural frequency, so it is 100% transmitted, and 4 Hz is matching with the wagging vibration. This is a weak vibration, only partially it absorbed, so we can see a broadband here like this. So this is how we plot a spectrum in IR spectrometer. This is how the detector will detect the transmittance. So 2 Hz and 4 Hz were absorbed by the molecule, and remaining these 1 Hz and 3 Hz are 100% transmitted out. IR spectrum. Today, there is a question in front of you. Categorize these molecules into IR active and IR inactive. So H2, Cl, HCl, O2, Cl2, CO and N were the molecules given. As we all know, homonuclear diatomic molecules, they don't have any change in dipole moment, so they are IR inactive. All heteronuclear, they show change in dipole moment, so they are IR active. To summarize, we have gone through interaction of IR radiation with molecule with one example of HCHO, and we have seen how we plot an IR spectrum and IR activity. Thank you.